Hi and welcome back to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀. Today guys, we're going to be diving down into the charts to take a look at what has been going on most recently with Bitcoin and what I do actually think is likely to happen next. Now, as we get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀. Right, with all of that said, done and out of the way, let's jump on down into the desktop and take a look at what has been going on most recently here with BTC. Okay guys, we're going to start things off today just on this hourly chart. There's a couple of things I think are really worth taking a look at in a little bit more detail, right? So we actually have this move here. Now I'm going to quickly delete this off for a second and zoom out. So we get an idea, first of all, of this structure coming down, and then I'm going to talk about this recent move upwards. Now, what we have effectively is an impulsive move down on a slightly larger time frame. Now I've got this mapped onto the hourly, so when we zoom out we can see we effectively have a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 and a wave 5 coming down. We also have our targets kind of scoped out down here towards $32,000, effectively creating ourselves a double bottom. And if we come over and grab hold of our ellipses here, we can actually see we have one here, and we will be looking for one just over here as well. Okay, so we end up with this double bottom scenario. So that's kind of what's looking like here, based on the 1.618 moves or a 2.618 move here on this fifth final wave, right? So we are, optimistic that maybe that doesn't happen, but right now this is the kind of the pattern that has been playing out, right? We're in the fourth wave pushing up now. Okay, that's what this all move here is. And in order to invalidate this move coming down, we obviously need to push higher than wave 1, okay, to invalidate that. So wave 4 is not allowed to go higher than wave 1. So for that to happen, in order to us to invalidate that, we have to push up higher than 41,580. So if we just said, we have to go up to 41,600, we're going to be doing pretty well, okay? So that's obviously the target. Now, obviously, this is the zoomed out view. You can kind of see the structure here. Now, inside these impulsive waves down, there should be 5 waves inside wave 1. There'll be 5 waves inside, and you can see I've marked them up here. 5 waves inside wave 3. There's the ABC move up, and then we should have 5 waves coming down towards this low target. That is effectively completing the structure. Okay, so this low bottom area here creates a double bottom. It's a 2.618 extension on a wave 4 potentially. Now that does need adjusting a little bit, so we'll come down here, we'll zoom back in, and we'll talk about this recent push to the upside, right? So first of all, I'm going to grab this fib and I'm going to actually push this up to the high that we've had. Let's assume that this is our fourth wave high, and we're starting our trend to the downside. Then we come back down here and we can see that it's not a 2.618. It's actually there's a good area of support actually just here at 34,623, and this would be a 1.618 move, right? And we look back here and we can see that this is an area of support for us. So that actually might hold out quite well. So that scale of this these 5 waves moving down might not be as severe as maybe I was thinking initially. Okay, so interesting kind of stuff. So we obviously have our fourth wave, and what I'll do is I'll move that up here now. Okay, so we have our high point, and I'll delete those. Okay, cool. So we have a couple of interesting points still down there, but we'll get into that in a moment. So let's get into this recent move. So obviously, if you're in our Discord server, our Patreon or YouTube members, you'll know that I actually put some TA out this morning, and the expected move was this yellow box here. Effectively, we had a range of anywhere between 38,500 and up here at 38,875. That was where I was thinking. We actually went a little bit higher, as you can see, 39,200, and now we start to come back down. And basically what we're doing here this morning was measuring this distance. We have our A wave higher, we have a B wave, and then we have a C wave. That actually overextended a little bit. So if we grab this, we can see to what degree. Let me grab it and move it over into this low point. Actually, that's pretty much actually bang on. So yeah, a little bit short actually, not overextending at all. So when I measured it this morning, it was probably from this point here. Okay, perfect. So we have an ABC move to the upside, and we can count lots of different waves inside, but ultimately we can see here that that is a definitive low point, and that is a definitive high point, and we obviously have a bounce in the middle here, this congestion. So A, B, and C. Perfect. Now we can see that we're moving back down. Now this actually constitutes effectively one one wave really, but there is a little bit of a blip in the middle, or an ABC move. So on a really small scale, you could argue that this is A, this is B, and this is C. And again, that stochastic RSI is ready to move up, but I think all of this is an A wave with a B wave coming. So if we were to measure this move here, move it over to the high wave B area, we can already see that we've come down pretty much exactly for a 1-to-1, a little over extension here, but nothing too major. And again, that's kind of exactly what you would expect to see on this kind of move. So big move up and a corrective move down. And again, if you zoom out into larger time frames, such as like a 4-hourly chart, all of this here just looks like one wave. This might be a B wave, and then we continue going higher. Okay, so that's what I do actually anticipate going on the kind of smaller scale here, or the time frame. If I grab this and move this over into this low point that we're currently at, we could see that this actually takes us up towards this $40,000 range, and I've spoken about that a few times before to our members as well, so hopefully they're familiar with that kind of stuff. So ultimately, once all this corrective move is kind of completed, and let's hypothetically say that we do not go higher than 41,600 to invalidate that, then we are looking at that fifth wave coming down lower. Okay, and I am going to adjust this fifth wave now to be in line with our 1.618, which is the minimum threshold for a impulsive wave or a fifth wave down. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand our little zone, okay, because we have got a gap here. And what this is effectively is a C wave low, which is, I'll get into that in a second actually, it's there. And then of course we have our fifth wave low. And effectively this created this kind of gap here. And what this is basically our zone for potential accumulation if we're trading, because there is going to be a push to the upside of significance at this particular point. So at least in my opinion, obviously, I am not a financial advisor. I cannot offer you financial advice, but I can obviously read the data here and I can tell you what I think is likely to happen based on this data. So as we come back down, we can obviously see that this is ranging between pretty much 32,900 up to about 34,600. It's quite a broad range. Now we obviously would like to narrow that down, and it will get narrowed down obviously once we start to see this fifth wave and it comes down a little bit lower. And if this fourth wave actually pushes up any higher, which is also a possibility on the larger time frames, it might actually lower that 1.618 threshold. So let's hypothetically say that we do move up towards that $40,000 range. That will lower our 1.618 target to a point where this gap gets narrowed as well. Okay, so we'll have to keep in mind that this is subject to change as change kind of continues there. Okay, cool, right. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pull this back down into our fourth wave high at the moment, and this is on the 4-hourly chart. Now let's talk about that C wave. So as I come up into our daily view, we actually can see here that we are tracking an A, B, C. That C wave comes down towards this area here, which is of course effectively here. Right, we've already hit it, but this could be a double bottom, confirming that area. Okay, so we want to kind of acknowledge that there is that as a possibility as well. And we've hit it once, we moved up, and we have actually gone higher than wave A, setting into a new motion here. Now ultimately what I do think is more probable isn't necessarily that move. So what we want to do is we want to kind of move up past $41,600, because there is an ABC in the opposite direction, right? Okay, so depending on how you want to do your wave counts, we could effectively end this one down here and we start an A wave to the upside here. Okay, now we are tracking that impulsive move down. That impulsive move down does go quite low, and you can see it right here on this daily chart as well, so you can see it a little bit clearer without all the noise. What you have is wave 1 coming down here, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then we track for wave 5 coming down lower. Okay, so we can see that that is a potential pattern. The only way to invalidate that is to go higher than 41,600. Okay, but let's say we do, and if we do that, then actually we are tracking this ABC move higher, and on this larger time frame, that C wave comes in up here at just over $50,000. Okay, and so it all depends on what happens next here. Now, in terms of price momentum, we should be very aware as well that if I start up with the monthly, we've got the stochastic RSI down in oversold. The weekly is oversold. The daily is oversold. The 8-hourly is overbought. So we do need to see that correction. This could be bringing in that fifth wave. The 4-hour is overbought. And again, that could come down into our fifth wave. The hourly is heading to the oversold area, so we're looking for a bump up before we push on down any lower. Okay, so back into this hourly chart, now we have a good idea of what's going on the larger time frames, and we've explained these low areas, you know, wave. Actually, let me come back up into our daily chart for 1 second here, because I think I've left on. Let me just check it. No, I haven't. That's okay. That's good. Let me check the 4 hourly as well. But that looks pretty cool. Okay, so on our hourly chart here, I was just checking to see if I'd left anything on there, which I hadn't, which is good. We can obviously acknowledge that this might just be one wave down. We bounce up on the hourly chart and then we fall down further on the 8 hourly and the 4 hourly chart, right? Because right now this should be mapping out like 5 waves. Okay, so we've had 5 waves previously. If this is our 4th wave top, then we are in fact looking for 5 waves to come down, and this might just be wave 1. We bounce up for wave 2. Fall down quite significantly for wave 3, which will probably be somewhere around here for support, and then we bounce up and then we fall down into that final leg where we might take out that 1.618 move down here. So it's something to that effect. It might be a little bit more severe than that. We'll know more once we get closer to the time. But that's the kind of pattern that we're looking for here to complete the move. That would create the potential of a double bottom, and basically then take us on to the upside. And so yeah, there's a lot of things going on here with Bitcoin. There's a couple of different ways of counting the waves. I think it's more probable that we are going to be coming down on the short time frames. But as I said, all of these larger time frames, they are all ready for a significant push to the upside. And I think that's going to be taking us up into new all-time highs once we are done with this low point. Okay, so this corrective move coming to the downside. So guys, I am going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.